All right, once you have found a couple of articles, your next step is going to be to work on your reference page citations that you'll need for your research journal. So if you would go into Canvas and follow the link to the APA style blog, that will take you to this page. Okay. Hopefully you're already here. I think the APA style blog is the absolute best resource for learning about APA and using APA. You might have been familiar with the OWL at Purdue. You might have used that in past classes. I think it is really cumbersome. I think it's hard to use because of the ads. And so I really don't recommend it. I highly recommend this website instead. So once you are on this page, the very first thing that we're going to do is go to this style and grammar guidelines and use the drop down menu. And we're going to come here to references. Okay, it's going to show you how to do all the APA stuff, but right now we're just talking about references. Okay. You guys have all done some type of reference at some point. Anytime you've written a research paper where you had to use sources, you should have had the very last page that had your list of sources used. In MLA, it's called the works cited, but in APA, we call that the references. All right, so once you've clicked on the references, you'll scroll down and it'll have this great list of different things for you. The first is the basic principles of reference list entries. And so this is a good place to start to look at what even are you supposed to do. So this should tell you about some of the components that go in it, what the purpose of it is, the importance of the punctuation in it, and all of that. You can also look at the elements of reference list entries. And so this will tell you what each element is, the order it goes in, and the basic principles, again, the different types of things that you might do. One thing to notice is in that APA, we do not use the author's first name. We don't use it in text and we don't use it on the reference page. APA is the American Psychological Association. And so in all of its publications, it does everything it can to avoid any type of bias. And so this would help it avoid gender bias. And so when you're noting authors, just notice that we are never ever going to use their first names. It's going to be last name, first initial, and if there is a middle initial. All right, so let's go back. But the place that you're probably going to use the most is going to be this reference examples. So if you come here, it breaks it down into types of sources that you might have. So textual works, data and assessments, audiovisual media, and online media. The sources that you are finding in your databases are more than likely going to be textual works. So we're going to click on that. And it's going to bring you to periodicals, books and references, edited chapters, reports and gray literature, and then these things down here that you probably won't be using. It is most likely that whatever you found in your database was either a journal article, a magazine article, or a newspaper article. So I'm just going to click on journal article. If it said peer-reviewed, it is a journal article. All right, and it'll show you some different examples here. So with an article number, with missing information, these things you probably won't have. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the different components. So first we're going to have the authors. If we have multiple authors, last name, comma, first initial, middle initial, comma, next author's last name, middle initial, next author's last name, etc. Then we're going to have the date of publication in parentheses with a period after it. Then we're going to have the title of the article. And one thing to note really closely here, and this is a big difference from MLA, is that the article title doesn't use any quotation marks and it uses what we call sentence capitalization. It doesn't capitalize all the major words in here. It only capitalizes the first letter in the title, the first letter after a colon, and then proper nouns. Okay. After that, you're going to have the actual publication, which in this case is the journal Psychology of Popular Media Culture. It's italicized with title capitalization, the volume of the journal, the issue number, the page numbers it appeared on, and then a URL or DOI, which is a digital object identifier if you have it. So if you go back to this example here, all the publication information that we need is listed right here. So I have my author's names, I have the journal, I have the date of publication, this is the volume, and this is the issue number. It starts on page 1037 and it's 14 pages. But since I since I got my PDF of it, I can also look at the journal itself for that information. Okay, so here's the title of my journal, here's the title of my article, here are my authors, and then down here at the bottom, you're going to see the publication date, the volume number, the page it starts on. Here's the URL with the DOI, and I can also, maybe it doesn't have my additional page numbers. This one doesn't have it. So we would figure out what is 14 pages from 1037 here. So that would be to 1051, I suppose. All right. So what I would like you guys to do is to use this website to try to build your APA citations for your references for Research Journal number 1, and submit them today for feedback. Submitting them will get you extra credit, okay? Because I would love to give you feedback on your citations before you have to submit your final journal entry, okay? So if you get those in before Friday, I will make sure, or by Friday, I will make sure that I get you feedback before you have to submit your final Research Journal 1 on Saturday. All right. If you don't want that feedback, that does not mean you are free to go. That just means you should stay and continue doing research, looking for sources, talking with your group, and all of that stuff. So those are the two big things, is to find articles and then to do your citations. All right. If you guys need anything, feel free to send me a message through Parent Square. I will respond. If you send me a message through Canvas, I may not see it. I'm in a district meeting all day. But otherwise, have a great day. Let me know if you need anything. Don't forget your reading guides and Research Journal 1.